we're here with Director Wade Simmons from Chicago. Tell us a little bit of how you got into filmmaking. What was that like for you?
So for me, of course, I'm born and raised in Chicago. Film was always something that I wanted to do. I was a big fan of like Walt Disney as a kid. I used to like watching shows like Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Full House, Martin, uh, of course, the Jamie Foxx show. And then, I could never draw, even though my father's an artist. So my gift was more so in writing. So I used to write a lot of like short stories as a kid, and then too I used to do like a lot of film a lot of the family events and take pictures. So writing and camera work involves filmmaking. So it was kind of an easy choice for me.
Talk about how it was growing up in Chi-Town.
So well for me, originally I grew up on the west side of Chicago, but I also resided in the south suburbs too, so I kind of got the best of both worlds.
Is West Side like, you should be worried about being there by yourself, or?
I think in some areas it has gotten somewhat better, but just kind of depends on what area.
You're into filmmaking, but you also have some other unique things that you're into. Is like, for instance, right now you got the whole, you're at the funeral. You're at the funeral place, right?
Yep. I also, helping funeral service. I did go to school to be a mortician. Actually, school was actually fun. Met a lot of cool people. I think for me, the process of getting licensed has been kind of lengthy. So, in the meantime, I decided to go to school to be a filmmaker, and kind of more so took that route. But I mean, I still help in funeral service. I don't think I would give that up.
That's good because, like, I said before, someone's got to do it. And let's talk about mastering time. Well, I'll just let you talk about it. I know it has to do with being a funeral director, or it just has more so to do with how we take time for granted.
To be honest, it was more so about how we take time for granted. I made that film because it was for a class actually, and on the day I had to turn the film in, I had to work at the funeral home that night. So, I had let my boss know that I was gonna bring my camera. I didn't, I don't take it around any of the remains or anything, but I decided to, do like a little small short film around here and shoot a little bit downtown with the help of my friend Robert. But it was more about like how people take time for granted. And just like about how, like in the funeral business, kind of like while everybody else is probably out having fun, enjoying life, you pretty much are always just sitting here, like, because every day somebody leaves here, like people like really take time for granted. And like, I feel like as people, like when I made it, I just kind of wanted people to keep in mind that, like, to some people, time is money. To some people, time is always moving. Time is different things to people, but no matter what time is to you, you shouldn't take it for granted. Like the clock is always moving.
Oh my God, that is so true. And I mean, to think about it that way, that every day someone's leaving, and then just the same, every day somebody's coming into the world,
Yeah.
And man, that's something to be like on that side of things, and then also have an interest in filmmaking. I think that is.
I feel like working in the funeral business it's a passion of mine too, but like because a lot of people feel like you can't have two passions. Me, I'm different. I'm like, I feel like everything that you do in life, it connects in a way. It's a part of who you are, and I feel like as a filmmaker, where I'm different from a lot of filmmakers, where me is like I'm always making stuff. Like I hear a lot of people say, "Well, I'm gonna wait till I get this $1,000 budget," or I'm gonna wait till I get this or that. But it's like, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. So,
and then you get a constant reminder of that.
Yeah,
and that is the beauty of that.
My uncle, my mom's brother, just turned 50. My uncle that I love, he just came up here to visit us, and he just passed away, while he was visiting. So, it's just, we're still devastated over it, but it's like, that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm always, whenever I want to do something in life, whenever I have a story that I want to tell, I'm gonna make it. It don't matter, you know. I'm gonna call my friends and see who's available. But you
Yeah,
know,
if you're not ready,
I'm
I'm
like
gone.
Tom. I'm gonna keep it moving, you know. But it's going to happen.
That is what's up, man. I hope you definitely. I hope that you keep that drive and that same hunger and passion, man. You know, because as a filmmaker, you know, and just in life in general, you know how life tries to beat you down and whatever. But man, whatever happens, just you know, just find a reason, you know, or you sometimes have to just go back and revisit the what it was that made you so passionate, you know.
And you,
As filmmakers, there's some of us who chose to go to film school, some of us who didn't, and I think even if you go to film school, sometimes you may not get everything that you want. And I see Prince back there. I just noticed him back there. Yeah. Earlier I thought it was, but then I didn't see. I was like, close enough. That's the Super Bowl. Yep. When he had his perm and that. Uh-huh. Okay, so for you, how was what film school did you go to? Obviously, I know you did go to film school.
I went to Flashpoint, Chicago, and it was like the best choice that I could have made because, like, you know, for me it was weird because, like, most people they graduate from school, they maybe take a few years break or whatever, and then you know maybe years later be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to school. But what I did was right after going to mortuary school, you know, like I had said, it was taking me a while to pass the test to get my license. So I'm like, well, maybe why don't I just go ahead and go back to school and, you know, maybe look into doing something else. So my family's in the plumbing business. So I went down to Vegas with my uncle. I did a little work with him, but I was like, I like working with my family, but it was like, you know, that's not my expertise. So my next move was like, okay, I'm also in the ministry, but I'm like, okay, I don't want to be in ministry for money, you know. I want to do something else that I can make a living for. So then I'm like, okay, I like filmmaking. So I decided to go to film school. And when I went there, I had the best time of my life, I tell you.
I think it's a probably a good time to watch the film A Home Away from Home, which is directed by Wade Simmons, and you wrote it too, right?
Me and a young man named Greg.
Oh, okay. All right, Greg. No, all right.
Well, look what we have here.
Dad, can we not do this right now?
No. Where have you been? You never let me know where you're going. You always do your own thing.
Dad, you're just impossible. Everyone is impossible.
Look,
I'm leaving.
Even what I'm saying, even right now, you're just leaving. I didn't tell you to go anywhere.
Goodbye.
No, I didn't tell you to go anywhere. Come back here. Oh, what's up, Andrea?
Hi.
Sure. So what's up?
So I'm pretty sure Mike is cheating on me, and my dad is no help as usual. I don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, the dad is a long-term problem. Mike, simple. Just dump the guy.
What? No, it's not that simple.
I mean, yes, it is. Just dump it.
I don't know. I need to think.
All right, well, hey, since your dad kicked you out, you're welcome to stay here a few days until you clear your head.
Alright. Thanks, Wade.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way, since you're gonna be staying here, I need you to keep an eye on my little siblings. Paris is out of town as usual, so.
I love them anyway. No problem.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I'm assuming you guys didn't have breakfast. Do you guys want some toast?
Me.
You. Gene. Have you eaten breakfast yet?
No.
Alright, well, toast it is. Do you want butter or jelly?
Butter.
Butter?
I don't want any.
At least just jelly? Jelly's Gene, you have to eat something.
I can eat some nuts.
Well, what do you guys have?
Chips?
No, you're not getting chips. You know, you guys are both getting toast. Yeah.
You are nasty.
DJ, are you serious? You know Dad's gonna get mad at you.
I don't care.
You gotta pick him up. Pick all of them up. I don't know why you do this all the time. Just put them back in the bag. If you didn't like them, you could have just thrown them in the garbage.
Why do you have my phone? My phone. No. I'm playing with it. Get it!
Guys, why are you fighting? That's not your phone. Put it back. You know, I'm leaving. Everyone is impossible.
Hey girl. So yeah, I like this boy. He is so tall, have brown eyes. And he's cute. Yeah. He is so cute. I've never talked to him before.
Jean, who are you talking to?
My friend.
About who?
Boy.
She'll call you back. Jean, let me tell you something. They're not worth it. Not at your age, at least. I promise. Okay? Because what they'll do is they'll say you're cute, and they'll say you're funny, and they'll say you're interesting, and then they'll go and they'll tell another girl that. You'll just be stuck crying and feeling lost. So I promise you do not want to be a part of that situation. So just focus on your grades, your schoolwork, everything. You have so much potential. Forget about those boys. I mean, yeah, and if you guys go out, that's fine, but just, yeah, don't focus on it. All right, here's your phone back. Keep up with your work in school. All right, did you get it? Yeah, almost there. And 1 with 6 one time. 6, right? Yeah, so it's 66.
Hey, got these two doing homework?
Yes, I know, right? It's a miracle.
What did you do?
I may have bribed him a little bit, you know.
Figures.
Yeah.
Figured out what you wanted to do?
Mike, yeah. I've decided that I'm gonna skip town for a little bit, take some time to think, and get my head straight.
That's good. I never really liked Mike anyway, to be honest.
No one has. I don't know how I didn't see it coming. I really don't.
So it happens, it's life.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I guess I learned. Well, I'm gonna pack up tonight and maybe leave tomorrow.
Alright.
Alright.
Thanks again.
Thank you again. Listen, Mike, if you're with her again, then you can just forget about it. We've been together for 2 years, and I don't understand what I did to you to make you do this to me, but I'm leaving town. And I'm breaking up.
You know, you want to let it roll at the end, you know, the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right. So that was really great. Like especially because like it's nice to have a simple like film like that. Usually, you know, in Hollywood and other places, you would think that that's gonna turn either really bad or, you know, like the guy Wade as himself might try to, you know, take advantage of her because she's, you know, or whatever. But no, he just provided a home away from home, but you got to look out for her. So it's like, you know, he had to, some, you know, that gave him a break, but it just gave her a safe place pretty much. And that we need more of that in our communities. It was an honest film, and like, you know, sometimes you need someone who's not biased.
Yeah.
And that's what I got from that film. So
And you know what movie I really admire. Like a lot of people may not like this movie, but Back to the Future. That's
oh
like
yeah.
one of my favorite movies because I love movies that deal with the concept of time. I just like it because like it shows you how like he went back in time and he saw his parents' life, but it's like I like film that kind of remind you about, you know, the moving clock, the ticking clock as they call it.
Right. Well, have you seen the movie Idlewild? And what
Yes.
did you think about that? I definitely
I
thought
remember
about
that
you.
movie very well because I remember that I think the guy that he was embalming in that film, I think he like said something like he would never be nothing or something like that. And then he ends up like preparing the guy's body in the movie. I remember that scene. Yeah, when I saw that movie, I was fascinated by
One of my favorite parts, you know, was not the music, not all that. It was when the brother almost got shot. And he pulled out that Bible out of his pocket. Oh, and the smoke came out of there like,
yeah.
That was, I love that movie.
Yeah, My Girl, that was also a pretty good movie too. When Dan Aykroyd played the mortician, and
Yeah.
I think Macaulay Culkin played. Yeah, I like movies like that, you know, because again, I love movies that, you know, kind of deal with reality, you know, because like one of my biggest motivations, you know, as a filmmaker is like reading Psalm 90 and 12. It says, "So teach us to number our days that we might apply our hearts unto wisdom." So I'm always mindful that my days are numbered, so I'm gonna take advantage of my numbers.
Hey, well, since we're going and quoting the scriptures, brother, I'm gonna just talk about that same one where whatever your hands find to do on this earth, do it while you are young, you know, because in the grave where you're going, there is neither nor in that part. I always can't forget it, but it's Ecclesiastes.
That's in Ecclesiastes. Yeah, because like, you know, it's because you know, people, like we say, people take life for granted, and you know, as a filmmaker, like I said, that's something that I hold dear is that, you know, time doesn't wait for nobody. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, I'm gonna wait till I get this big chance, but no, don't wait. You have to create the opportunity. I mean, again, because like there's so much opportunities out here, and I feel like, you know, people have to realize that it's enough to go around for everybody, especially in the entertainment business. You know, and I tell people that if you're gonna value anything in life, you know, value your time, you know, because it's very important.
And it's the one thing that we cannot get back.
Yeah, and it's like it also reminds me of one of my favorite movies too, the Bronx Tale.
Oh, really? A Bronx Tale, huh?
Robert De Niro. That was one of my favorite movies because in that movie, his dad tells his dad tells him the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. Yep. So I tell people, you know, don't waste your time and don't waste your talent because, you know, God gave us that talent and he also gave us time. So, you know, why not make the most of it? You know, both of them.
Even though God gave you the talent, if he sees that you're sitting on that talent, he's not opposed to giving it to somebody else.
Every time I walk in this funeral home and then I go home and leave this place, I'm always reminded to, you know, do things that I like. If I have an idea, like I was over at Dunkin' Donuts the other day, I was just talking to this young lady, and just off of talking to her, I came up with a whole nother film sitting right here at work. Like I'm always thinking about making stuff because again, like I don't want to talk about making stuff. I just want to make stuff. You know?
Where do you see yourself in the future as it relates to filmmaking and even with you know, the mortuary business, are you still working on getting your license?
So I'm still working on it. It's just like I said, passing the test is hard, and you know, sometimes it takes people sometimes longer. It's not a race or competition, but like I said, I'm not gonna let that setback stop me from moving forward in other areas. Like because like I said, and then this is, and I'm not gonna lie, I love the funeral business. I love the people in it, but like my plea to them is like, come on, you bury people every day. Why prolong the situation? Like you need to get it better moving. You know what I'm saying? I hope they see this too.
You need to get it moving. What do you mean, brother?
I'm just saying, like, this process should not take this long. You know, my time is valuable. They wasted my life minutes.
What was that?
I said they should know better than that.
Oh, you mean the whole process of burying and all?
No, I mean I'm talking about the academic side of it, as far as like the younger generation moving. Like, you know, we gotta realize you bury people every day of all ages. Come on, man. You got to do better than this, brother and sister.
Oh man, that's something.
So my goal is as a filmmaker to you know, just keep producing, directing, and writing. Whether in Hollywood, outside of Hollywood, don't make me a difference. I'm gonna still be making stuff. And as far as being a mortician, I feel that there are some academic things that need to be adjusted, and somebody got to make a difference. You know, like I said, I hate to be the one that has to speak up and say something about it, but again, I'm a preacher too, so hey, you know, so you know, when you have a calling and stuff, you can't neglect it. Like you got to do it all, you know.
And you definitely can't run. It's great. It's like, well, okay, all right, you know.
Yeah.
Then you try again, and then you know you send somebody. Oh, as far as your quest as a filmmaker, I know you mentioned that you just want to make films.
Like I said, it don't matter if I'm in Hollywood or if I'm in the hood or wherever. I'm going to enjoy my time that God has given me. I'm going to make film, you know, and then too, my biggest thing is like, I love working with people. I love giving people the opportunity to act because like, I'm glad that I did go to film school because like a lot of people, when they look at the film industry, they often just look at Hollywood and the bigger industry, but every city, every state, every town, if you get involved with filmmaking, you know, people realize that there are actors all over the world. Some live right next door to you. You know, there are filmmakers all over the place. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of opportunity out here outside of what people really know about, you know. Hollywood is just, it may be the biggest part of the industry, but it's not the only part of it.
You can find your actors anywhere.
Yeah, because there's a lot of great actors that really, you know, who have never really got the chance. Like, because even in Hollywood, everybody doesn't get a role because they're great, you know, because they're good. Sometimes favoritism, or a lot of people have to realize, like, you know, it's not about being in one particular place. It's about doing what you love. You know, if you're doing what you love, it doesn't matter where you are because, like, you know, just like as a minister, whether you're in the prison or whether you're in the hospital helping somebody, you're doing the same service. I'm not particularly into one thing. I love filming. I'm not particularly, even in a funeral service, like, I don't want to just be a funeral director. I like involvement. I love everything that I'm doing in life. I love it, you know?
That is great, man. That is great.
I mean, I work too close. I work too close to the grave not to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make my life count.
I'm just so proud of you that you're taking it, you know, by force, and the righteous take it by force. Oh man, that's so. I mean,
because you gotta, you know, you have to, like, because what we gotta understand, all of us, you know, we all have control over what we do in life. You know, nobody can hold us back but ourselves. You know, and that's why I told people, like, you know, even though I know, you know, some people wanted me to go back and finish that funeral director test first, I know deep in my heart I was going to take that test, but then it got to the point where, like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm not gonna give up my dream here, but while I'm working toward this, time is going by. Why not pick up something else I can do? So, you know, it's like, because again, I'm not going to let one thing stop me from moving forward. Like, I don't operate like that. You know,
I
my
don't
time is
operate
money.
like that. Yeah.
I'm like the clock. I'm always moving.
Yeah. All right. The production process for you, like, how was it doing your first film, you know, as a director?
So my first film that I was actually, but this is the funny thing. So as far as being a filmmaker, I never thought about producing. But when I went to film school, my first role was as a producer on a film called "The Future Never Ends" or "Future Lasts Forever." I think we had two different titles going on there, but it was a really fun opportunity, and I fell in love with producing. So ever since then, that's pretty much really like my favorite aspect of it, because like to me, producing reminds me kind of being a funeral director. Like you plan stuff, you know, you pretty much oversee the production, you help set the dates, you know, you pretty much organize everything for everybody. So I love doing that. I love it.
And so you don't like directing as much?
I mean, I like directing too, but I like producing better. So my greatest advice to any filmmakers would be, you know, to first of all, whatever obstacles you have in life, you know, analyze them, you know, don't compare yourself to anybody. You know your circumstance, you know what you can do, what you can't do, but wherever you have access to stuff, whether it be a camera or money, you know, make your situation work for you, you know. Don't let your situation prevent you, but, you know, wherever you have loopholes to create stuff, you know, take advantage of your time, you know, take advantage of time before it gets you. You know, that's my best advice, you know. There's always a way, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, you know. So, you know, everybody has obstacles, but you just got to work through them, you know. Don't worry about, you know, failures or anything like that. Just do better next time. And don't beat yourself up. If you make a mistake, you know, on a film or a project, don't beat yourself up. Don't even let other people beat you up about it. Just know that we're all striving for perfection. And even if you've been making films 50 or 60 years, people still make mistakes, you know.
Where can people contact you or find your films if they want to check them out?
So my Vimeo is Wade Filmmaker 777. I'm also on Facebook. I'm not hard to find. Also, I'm on Instagram. I barely use it, but I do respond to all my messages now. I'm not an uppity person, or I'm not no big guy. I mean, I'll answer any questions. I'll be happy to hear from. I'm a chatterbox anyway, so I might get on your nerve a little bit. But I love people, so, you know, feel free to reach out to me. And again, my Instagram is Wade Jedi99 because I'm a huge Star Wars fan also.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.